I can't get over the fact that like just can't get over just how much I don't like Shakuras Plateau anymore. It used to be
Yeah,
one of those maps that I used to love playing on back when the
yeah,
map pool was like even like worse. Like you had
yeah,
slag pits in the map pool, and Shakuras
yeah.
Plateau was like, oh, it's a good map. But these days I'm like, I can't play on this map anymore.
Yeah, that's one thing that I absolutely love about just like how StarCraft is developing. Like you look at the first maps, I'll never forget the beta maps when I would play, and two base play was like, holy crap, you are greedy. Like it doesn't matter if you're doing like a three gate Robo Expo, which is basically an all in push, and trying to take an expansion behind it. Just any type of expoing was pretty greedy. Unless you were Zerg, then yeah, of course you kind of had to. But any other race, it was so greedy. And like four gate pushes and everything, it was so common. Like you look at Huck, he built his career up to getting in a Team Liquid off doing four gates against almost every match. Like he would do it against Zerg, he would do it against Terran. Like he just did it against like in every matchup, and he would do always one base plays and stuff. And he became known as like the one base king kind of thing back then. And then now he is having to mix up his style and get it a little bit more to the where it is right now. But now you look at the maps; they're getting bigger and bigger. Like Tal'Darim, I remember, was like one of the first maps that was just humongous, right? And now, like they're coming out with Entombed Valley and oh, what's the other map that I have vetoed? Oh, what's it called here? What is that other four-person map that they have right now in the map pool? The big sand one.
Yeah, it's actually completely skipping my. I have that
Oh
map vetoed
man,
also. I haven't played on it in a long time.
it's one of those maps that just doesn't matter much. So it doesn't matter. It's not in any tournaments. And I have it vetoed just because of going against Terran and Zerg. I don't enjoy it. But like I said, the maps are just getting bigger and bigger. And like Ohana right now, it must be the smallest map in the map pool, and it's already pretty dang big. Like that's a huge map still. It's still like at least 33 to like 50% bigger than Zone.
Salnaga Caverns.
Zelmaga Caverns. There we go. Man, I don't even remember it anymore. You know what I mean? So maps are just getting bigger and bigger. I really like that because it's promoting macro play. It's making way cooler games.
Yeah, it's definitely promoting a lot better games. But Shakura's Plateau is an older map, but it still has the capacity to produce some good games. Hopefully, it will. Hopefully, it will for this particular game. We
Yeah.
have our two players spawning down here on the map. We have our blue Terran player with a big burden to carry for Team Optik. Can he manage to bring his team back? He is spawning as the blue. He is Requiem.
And then in the bottom right, we have the red player from Team MxG, Frostswarm.
Frostswarm, who has put Team MxG up 3-1 in this best of 7 series after 3 very convincing wins in Zerg versus Zerg. But how is this Zerg versus Terran, and how is this Zerg versus Terran on Shakuras Plateau, which is a better question. This map is so interesting, and I say interesting in a kind of tongue-in-cheek way for Terran versus Zerg because, I mean, this map is really, really tough for Zerg to secure additional bases on.
Yeah, no, this is definitely not an easy map for Zerg. It's gonna be interesting how he plays out. This is it's a very a very good map to go muta, just because of these like little mountain areas in the map, which really only Terran can really fully abuse. Putting siege tanks up there. I've learned in my past experiences in tournaments when I played Zerg that it's just like you can lose a game just because you don't go muta, because they can just abuse the crap out of it. But it looks like we actually have a proxy 2-racks for Queen here.
This is an old build for an old map, Niter. This is a double 11 racks. This is going to hit really, really early, even before the Queen is done for Frostswarm. This is definitely not the
This
build
is
that Frostswarm is going to be prepared for.
oh,
He's gonna lose the Overlord in his natural, almost assuredly. But at this point, he definitely knows something is up because he has not scouted the command center. He has not scouted a barracks with that Overlord. He knows that something proxied is happening. The
I
red
can't
is the
I
red
can't
sirens
tell
are
you
going off
how
right now.
painful this is to see as a former Zerg. This is so painful because his pool is halfway done and there's already like two more Marines on the way. This is just, oh, this is so painful. And the triple
Oh.
bunker block too. This is so painful. This is basically unholdable for Frostworm. If he holds this, I will be so impressed.
Oh, this is basically Team Optic going, okay, we are not going to get all killed by Frostswarm. We're going to do
Yeah.
everything in our power to not get all killed by this guy. Frostswarm is going to be throwing down some spine crawlers just to try and hold this push up. But, I mean, at this point, the damage is virtually already done. Requiem could go and take his natural expansion behind this if he wanted to. He can go into a macro game from here, but at this point, he's just got 3 bunkers at the
You
natural
know,
expansion of Frostswarm, and the hatchery is already under attack. This is such a
I don't
difficult
know though. This
position.
might be actually okay for Froststorm. He has 3 spines up, and Requiem hasn't noticed these yet. Maybe actually, let me check the vision quick. He doesn't even see these 3 spines going up. So these 3 spines can move up into position, and I feel like with 3 spines and these 12 lings and a queen, he could take these bunkers down.
That is something that could happen. I feel at this point for Requiem, he should really just focus on taking down that hatchery, utilizing the 4 SCVs he has to repair. But instead, this bunker is going to now become under fire by the 3 spine crawlers of Frostswarm. Those Marines are going to retreat back into the other bunker, but some SCVs actually took their spot inside, and now there's only one Marine inside that bunker, so the firepower of that bunker is going to be greatly diminished. We have 2 additional Marines making their way up the ramp to now find their way inside that bunker, but they're actually exposed, but one Marine does manage to take a hit and then get inside the bunker again. But this is not going, I think, the way that Requiem wanted it to. Those SCVs are now under fire. Also, those bunkers are now going down, and I don't know. I thought for sure that this is going to work out for Requiem just because of the positioning, but Frostswarm looks like he will be able to hold this attack off. I didn't think this is going to be possible, but it does look like Frostswarm is going to come away with the
do you know what I love? It showed how confident Froststorm wasn't holding that. He used the transfuse from the queen on the hatchery instead of using it on any of the spines. And this was after he took down the first bunker, so he knew that the hatch wasn't going to go down already, but he put it on the hatchery. He didn't even need to put it on the spine crawlers. Just showing how confident he was in his defense. And now the Lings are going to swarm in, and I'm going to be honest, this is probably going to be GG.
This is probably going to be GG right here, folks. Terran does have the option to lift and float to one of the positions that are behind the rocks, but at this point, it's just a bad position either way for Requiem. I thought for sure that this would be a GG the other way around, but Frostswarm stuck with it, and now he is going to be coming away with the all-kill on Team Optik. I don't see any way that Requiem can actually come away with this. There are just too many Zerglings in his main base. And Frostswarm, man, you're right. He was absolutely confident in being able to hold this attack off. And Requiem is going to play this out because what else is there really for him to do? But at this point, I really just think that he's pretty much going to be finished from here. There's the GG.
I think he was just taking a second to collect his thoughts because he wasn't even making Marines out of the barracks because he knew he lost. I think he was just sitting there like, what just happened? He didn't even scout it. How did he hold that so well? I didn't even kill anything,
That was definitely an impressive hold from Froststorm. I thought you and I were writing him off like he was already dead, but Froststorm managed to come away with an epic hold to give his team that 4-1 victory. So Froststorm comes away with the second all-kill of ISTL season number 3 over Team Optik. After 3 very convincing ZVZs, he takes the TVZ victory, holding off the proxy 11, a double proxy 11 racks. An old build for an old nap, but I mean, Froststorm kind of just demonstrated why you never see that build anymore, Nighter.